Discover the advantage of unlimited access to all the stories and resources from IBJ and inside Indiana business. From insights to inspiration, business leaders rely on the IBJ for all things Indiana business. Start your $1 a week trial now at ibj.com/trial offer.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Monday, December 29th, 2025. I'm Alex Brown. The Cass County Community Foundation is nearing completion of a $6 million incubator kitchen and pavilion designed to support food and beverage entrepreneurs in the community. CEO Deanna Crispin says the goal of the project is to bring the community's diverse population together.
Food is such an integral part of every culture. We knew we wanted to build a permanent structure for the farmers market, but we also thought this could be a great gathering space for helping entrepreneurs start food businesses.
The pavilion could open by the end of this year, with the incubator kitchen slated to open in February. Illinois-based AAR Aircraft Services plans to close its airframe maintenance plant in Indianapolis in a move that will cost 329 employees their jobs. The company said in a notice to the state the AAR airframe maintenance facility is set to close permanently in February 2027, though a reason for the closure was not given. Indiana now has a new pro-chapter of the American Constitution Society, giving the National Progressive Legal Network a stronger foothold in a state where conservative and libertarian legal groups have long been active. Joe Brinkman, Deputy Director and Legal Counsel for the city's Office of Public Health and Safety, says the move reflects renewed interest in building a statewide community for lawyers with progressive legal views. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Thanks for listening to this IBJ Media podcast. You're probably going to remember this ad. Do you know why? Podcast advertising works. 85% of listeners recalled hearing an ad during a podcast, and 70% of podcast listeners have acted after hearing an ad. So whether you're looking to be heard across the entire IBJ Media podcast network, sponsor one of our shows, or just start with a 30-second ad, IBJ Media can help. Contact advertise at ibj.com to learn more.
Indianapolis officials are seeking additional funding for a citywide tutoring program that has significantly improved reading outcomes for some of Marion County's most vulnerable elementary students. IIB's Aubriana Herron has more.
The Circle City Readers Program was launched in 2023 to respond to pandemic-related learning loss. It provides small group in-school tutoring for kindergarten through third grade students who are furthest behind in reading. The program was initially funded through the American Rescue Plan Act, with the city later committing $1.4 million to sustain the program through the 2025-26 school year. Marion County officials are seeking public and philanthropic funding to continue the program through the following school year, with hopes of securing funding by May 2026. Mayor Joe Hogsett said the program has demonstrated strong results for students most at risk of falling behind academically. According to a new report from the Indianapolis Office of Education Innovation, 76% of Circle City Readers participants passed the iRead exam during the 2024-25 academic year. That percentage outperforms third grade averages in Indianapolis public schools in several township districts and nearly matches the Marion County average. City leaders said the reading program is one of the most cost-effective literacy interventions available, with an estimated cost of about $2,000 per student. The need for continued intervention remains pressing, officials said, as an estimated 3,000 Indiana third graders are expected to be retained next year for failing to pass iRead and not qualifying for exemptions. Aubriana Herron, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
The ECHL and the Professional Hockey Players Association have a tentative agreement on a new collective bargaining agreement to end a strike that lasted 2 days. The work stoppage resulted in the postponement of several games for the Indy Fuel and Fort Wayne Komets. The league and union on Saturday night announced the deal that still needs to be ratified by the Board of Governors and the full player membership. The sides released no details about the CBA that they believe will bring players back to work. They had been engaged in talks since January. It was not immediately clear when play would resume in the 30-team North American Minor Hockey League, 2 tiers below the NHL. Indiana University East is celebrating 2 decades of supporting and developing aspiring student entrepreneurs. The Center for Entrepreneurship launched in 2005 and focuses on a hands-on approach with podcasts, networking with alumni who have their own businesses, and classroom instruction. Director Tim Scales, who started the center, spoke to Inside Indiana Business Television about the center's success.
From my perspective, it's the hands-on approach. It's because we have done things like the BOSS program. It's put us out in the community. It's because we're there for the community. If they call and they need a speaker, they need a workshop, whatever the resource is, we are that resource, and we're very hands-on. We're not an 8 to 5 program. We're a 7-day-a-week program. That doesn't mean we have hours on Saturday and Sunday, but it means we make ourselves available when the public needs us. And so it's so hands-on that I think we're a great resource for the community.
As the program enters year 21, Scales says he hopes to build other opportunities for students within the world of podcasting. Catch up on the latest episodes of the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now on the IBJ Media app or your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.
From broadcast to podcast, Inside Indiana Business with Gary Dick is now available anytime on YouTube or in your podcast feed. Subscribe and listen wherever you get your podcast or at ibjpodcast.com.
Your commute just got smarter. Turn drive time into growth time. The IBJ Media Podcast Network gives you front row access to leaders shaping Indiana's economy, culture, and future. No filler, just smart, relevant, local storytelling you won't get anywhere else. Find all of our shows by searching IBJ Media in your podcast app or visit ibjpodcasts.com.